All right, thanks for coming this afternoon. Always appreciate you coming out to cover UND football. And looking back at our season, so many highs in the season, and really pleased with the group that we were a part of. I thought our players were a special group, really handled a lot of different emotions during the season in a really high-class manner. Whether it was disappointment after a loss or really feeling good after a win, I thought our guys really did a good job of keeping a mindset that we got to get back to work and put the past in the past and go one day at a time and prepare for games. To earn a spot in the playoffs is hard. We always say it's hard, and you got to build a resume to do it. And I felt, before the season ended, that we did that. We built a good resume, and I still feel that way. And to end the game on Saturday was hard because this was really a fun group to be around, and knew that it was coming to an end. And when you get to the playoffs, you got to play really your best football, and in some ways we did that during parts of that game, but you really need to do it for long periods of time. So now we look forward and got to learn from the past.
I'm not going to run down the list and ask you everybody, but I wanted to ask you about a couple of your leaders. Do you have a feel for whether or not CJ Siegel and Donnie Contrell, you heard from those two guys?
Yeah, I haven't had those meetings yet, the individual ones. We had mid-season meetings during our open week and talked about it. We didn't want that to be a distraction to the guys, and we'll get that later in the week, because we got to, as we move forward, we got to know who's going to be with us and who won't be with us moving forward. And I will go back to the end of the year meeting with the team on Sunday. It's just so different now with that COVID year, with so many guys. And we respect all decisions by our individuals, but we're also going to, talk to them about what we think is good and what we'd have concerns about. And I do know this, the guys that do come back have to really be all in and want to do this. And we look forward to those meetings, and we'll have some decisions made here late this week.
Probably a year ago then we were talking, you said that the offensive line was an area you guys had to get better at to take a step forward. As you close the 2022 season, look to 2023, is there an area that you can put your finger on that says, here's where we need to get better as we approach this offseason?
Yeah, and I was pleased with how we addressed the O-line. I thought we had, more depth, that we could withstand some injuries this year and some illness. And moving forward, I just think the same thing is on the other side of the ball. We just got to have better depth on the D-line and play, be able to rotate guys so guys can stay fresh. We had some guys play really well. I thought Ben McNaboe had a good year, but how can we help him to even do we need to rotate him more and be able to do that? I think that would help him as a player in our team. And then all positions, we really got to create more depth. We took some losses at the corner position, so we were returning very little experience at corner, and I think that took some time to get settled in there and learn more about the guys that we had there. We feel like we have some guys that really step forward. We have some guys in their first year that we need to have step forward at that position. But if you look at the two positions, I think at the D-line and then in the secondary as a whole, we just got to really take a step forward and create more depth that we can rotate guys and really have a lot of competition. I think when you have that competition within your team, it really helps your football team.
What's the best way to sort out what you're looking at in the transfer portal? How do you find a Tyler Huseman type? How do you go about that?
Yeah, that's a challenge, but difference makers is what you're looking for. I think we got to, what was great about Tyler and great about Aaron Cooper, they just fit into the culture that we want. They were really good teammates and really were patient and waited for their opportunity. Tyler obviously had a huge impact on our season, didn't get here till the summertime, but during fall camp, he was patient. The first game, you really don't know what you have till you actually get into the games, because it's hard to replicate games in practice. I know you can go live or whatever, but we always want to, in fall camp, want to keep our team healthy too. But he sure is what you're looking for. And Aaron Cooper, I thought, the last 3 games he played his best football here, and he was here in the spring, but we knew we had the right guy in the spring. He was just, going to do whatever he could do to help the team, and was, waiting for the opportunity, and just a really good guy to have around the team. So that's really what you're looking for, guys that can really make a difference. But, they also got to be a good fit. They got to be able to handle Grand Forks and UND and the type of teammates that we want them to be.
A popular fan thought these days is whether or not should UND change its defensive scheme. Would you consider that? Do you consider that?
Yeah.
What do you think?
First of all, I didn't know that's a popular theme, because I believe in this defense, and have we changed from when we implemented the 3-4? You bet we have a lot. It changed a lot, and there's constantly changes being made. I don't get where it's coming from. Obviously we got to create more depth. I think we were really challenged our last few weeks. Our depth was really challenged on our defense, and that can make a difference too. But do we have to, try to develop ways to get more depth and keep teaching guys? But if, as you looked at our team, we had lost some experience, and those guys get better as they play. But you got to believe in what you believe in, and I don't think this is anything new that we do any other year. We take a look at what we're doing, but we've evolved and tried to do things differently. This is a different defense than we were coaching in 1991 and 92 when it was implemented. It was different when Coach Lennon left for a couple of years, and I was the defensive coordinator. It was different, before we had our current defensive staff. We just got to keep working to get better, and ultimately the responsibility is mine. If we have to get it better in an area, we need to evaluate that, and how we go about doing it, that's my responsibility to get the team better. So it ultimately comes back to me, but I don't have a concern about schemes and things like that. I have a concern about how we execute and how we get better and improve on both sides of the ball and on special teams. But obviously the last 2 weeks we got to get better at stopping the run. We know that.
And you probably hit on it during some of your answers here. But what would you say is the way that, how does North Dakota break into that upper tier of the FCS, whether North Dakota State, South Dakota State, when you're playing those guys every year? How does North Dakota get there?
Yeah, I think you got to take a look at your opponents and what's making them successful. And, do we get bigger and more physical? I think we need to do that. I think we've always tried to do that, but, you also got to be able to run. And so we still will stick by the philosophy. If we get bigger, we still got to be able to move our feet. Now, there might be some positions that you can do that and get away with it, but as you look at some of the top defenses, I think they're big up front, but boy, they're really athletic at linebacker and can really run. And then tackle well in the secondary. The way football is played nowadays, one-on-one is the best you can do. If you can get one-on-one on somebody, and then you got to win those one-on-one matchups when it comes to tackling guys, because the way teams add the quarterback to the run game, or the way they're going to spread you out with the run-pass option, there's going to be a lot of one-on-one situations. So we need to get better at that, and we're going to take a look at how we can get better at that, and that'll improve our football team.
And maybe just one more for me. Do you plan to stick to the timeline for spring ball here?
Yeah, I think we talked about it. We're going to, we prefer to split it up with spring break. So we'll get that schedule out here shortly. I like going earlier for the simple reason, if you get somebody nicked up, you have a better opportunity for them to come back in the fall. And to have a break in there, if somebody has some minor injury, you don't miss all these practices when you're out. When we used to do it, you know, straight through in 1 month, I think you can lose too many practice opportunities for guys. So we're going to split it up and going early. There's some, you know, balance that you got to find, but we also get a strength training period after spring ball that we can do before our finals week, and this is the plan we plan on going with. But you know, we're going to look at what's best for our team, and I'm going to take a look at that. If we change how we practice, I'm really going to take a look at that, and who we practice maybe different ways. You know, the question is, how much do you go live? And once again, my responsibility is take care of the team physically, but it's also to prepare the team for the fall that you best possibly can. So we're going to take a look at a lot of things, how we're practicing and how we conduct spring ball, but the timeline will be pretty similar.